faith advisors. Called The Rise of Al-Qaeda, it uses the words Islamic and jihad when referring to terrorists. I know. Disgusting. Said the imam in the group, quote, unsophisticated visitors who do not understand the difference between Al-Qaeda and Muslims may come away with a prejudiced view of Islam, leading to antagonism and even confrontation. In short, facts will cause us rubes to beat Muslims up. However, FBI stats show anti-Muslim bashing is rare. And it's not like the museum smears Muslims at all. It shows that they were also the victims that day and the rescuers. Look, if you feel that basic words harm your beliefs, that's more about your insecurity than our rage. And what would the imam prefer us to say? That 9/11 was caused by men unhappy with tall buildings? Or that terrorists were really Mormons posing as Muslims to smear Islam? My guess is they wish 9/11 were cleansed of all things Islam, which ain't happening. At some point, you have to say it out loud. 9/11 was done by Islamic radicals, and they're still killing all over the world. They are fiends, and they are your problem as much as it is ours. So that's the first step, admitting you have a problem. Other religions have done it too, so why not join the club? We won't bite. Anyway. That was your point, wasn't it?
I did not see your monologue today.
Yes.
What is what did I write right here in my own handwriting? Admitting you have a problem is the first step to recovery.
Yes.
So at least we're on the same page.
But see, the thing is, let me go to Sean. I do think that there are obviously moderate Muslims out here who feel that there is a problem, but they can't say it because they're scared too. Is that fair to say?
Oh, very. Look, they're viewed as apostates if they go out against the religion. I think the person that's been the best and most outspoken and the hardest hitting on this is sitting right next to me. Not a guy I often agree with on issues, but here's the reality. The truth is this. Under Sharia, women are treated horribly. There are radical Islamists, and there has been this reluctance, mysterious reluctance, resistance by those that practice the Muslim faith to speak out against those that are hijacking their religion. That, to me, is the big problem.
Yeah, listen, I'd be very curious to see whether this imam, who's making all these complaints, apologized for 9/11 or said something, anything.
You can go back in the record.
Yeah, and that's the thing that gets me after, whether it was the Cole, whether it was the first World Trade Center bombing, the second one, the Boston Marathon, not one head of one Muslim country ever said it was a bad thing. Not one imam, not one cleric, and they were dancing in the streets in Egypt. I mean, look, I know there are moderate Muslims out there. Don't get me wrong, and you've got a faith, and it's one of the great faiths of the world. But you are cowards when it comes to standing up to these punks that are ruining it's not us ruining your religion. It's your people, not us.
Kimberly, it wasn't just the imam. I think that it's a council of different faiths. They were all uncomfortable, I guess, with these terms. Do they have a legitimate complaint, or is this another example of Islamophobia, where everybody's just scared of appearing as though they don't like Islam?
It is. It's Islamophobia. That's exactly what it is. And they should better equip themselves with the facts and the truth, because the fact of the matter is that every single one of the 9/11 hijackers declared that this was an act of jihad. They were members of Al-Qaeda. They made martyr videos, and they were very specific about their beliefs and their intentions on completing these acts of terror against the United States. So why is it now we're put in this position to apologize for terrorists that are murderers? They shouldn't do it.
I'd like to see the script of this 5-minute or 6-minute film they've got, but it's almost as if somebody's saying all radical Islams mean everybody in the Muslim community is radical. I would bet you it doesn't say that.
It doesn't.
No.
Right. So what is it? I mean, you can't. You're exactly right. I mean, these people they were Islamic radicals, and they were Muslims. I mean, you can't, right? I mean, how are you going to get around that?
Look, I don't often defend NBC News, but Brian Williams is the guy that narrated this whole thing, and I don't think Brian Williams is known for going exactly over the top like Greg Gutfeld.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, and none of us could see. None of us are allowed to see the script until the museum is open. But this council did, so we don't know what's in there. But we do know that they objected to those specific terms. Dana, what do you make of this? The president of the museum said we've gone out of our way to tell the truth. Is that maybe the problem? The truth is unsavory?
It seems to me that the entire museum project and memorial they've bent over backwards, and that it's time to get it open. And people that have gone to visit, if I have out-of-town guests that come, almost #1 on their list of things to go and see is the World Trade Center site.
Yeah.
And I think everyone benefits from seeing and learning more and being reminded of it. And I was thinking about the victims' families. What about their rights to be able to mourn and to be able to have the truth out there? More Muslims are murdered by radical Islam than Christians.
Yeah.
So it is confusing. But on the question of where are most of the moderate Muslims, the truth is, because many of them live in very poor countries, they're just trying to put food on the table.
Yeah.
And so they don't, and also they get
Muslims
ostracized, and there's reprisals. Like when you're a conservative in Hollywood, you don't want to come out and say it because your career prospects might be harmed. That's true for moderate Muslims. If you come out and say something that could hurt your family, your prospects, your ability to feed your children.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why is it we get this insane reaction over a Muslim cartoon or a script that identifies, as you said in your opening monologue, which I thought was dead on, spot on, that there are radical Islamists. The 9/11 Commission report said they were at war with us, we weren't at war with them. And if you speak out against them, or if you say anything against the religion, it goes back to Salman Rushdie, the satanic verses, a fatwa was put out on him. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one put out on him
but that's
pretty
fine.
soon.
But, Dana, one thing you said here, though, I don't believe that CARE, the people involved with CARE, have to worry about putting food on their table. Certainly the Saudi government doesn't have to. My problem is with the Saudi elites, the appointed, and the rest of them. It may be that they are afraid. I can understand that. I can understand what they are. And these radicals say, well, if you get killed, you get 72 virgins. I've thought about converting if that's the case. But
Those
it is
poor virgins.
You and Bill Clinton. Go ahead.
Right. No, but I'm telling you, where are they? Why, if they want to, they allowed their religion to get hijacked. Get it back.
Well, I think we actually know the answer to that. The answer is education and leadership. And one of the best things that has happened for world relations is having people from the Muslim world come and study in the United States. That has become a problem when these terrorists, many of whom are on student visas, overstayed and then murdered 3,000 of our people.
Can I make a political point, though? And I don't want to turn this too political because Bob's close enough to hit me. But where is the left in America? Because the women in Saudi Arabia that can't drive, they have this morality police. They can't be seen, Kimberly, out in public with somebody that they're not related to. What about in some of these countries, rape, that women need 3 male eyewitnesses to prove their case? Where's the left that claims they have a monopoly on compassion for these groups?
There are entertainers that will not play in certain groups in America because of their religious beliefs, like Boy Scouts, but they will play in Islamic countries.
The person who's really lost an opportunity here is Barack Obama, a guy who's been stigmatized as being too pro-Muslim. David Cameron had a lot of guts to stand up there and say what he said about it. He said it was a Christian nation, and you can't continue to kill Christians in Muslim countries. I would think that Obama carried the deathly silence out of this thing has got me totally perplexed. I don't get it.
It's such an opportunity for them to speak out and on the record and show some integrity and some leadership, some convictions that actually could help move us forward as a country. I don't think we should be a country of apologists when we had Americans viciously murdered by these terrorists. I don't think we should change the rhetoric. We've identified the facts. It's not bombastic. It's not in any way hyperbole. It is the truth. It is part of the history.
There is a way that they could have avoided this controversy. Not that I think that they shouldn't have done the video, but one of the ways to do it is just to run the clips from that morning from the news programs to say this is what happened, and then people can make up their own mind.
They might actually have that there, but we don't know. I mean, that's the other thing too that's weird, and maybe I don't know. Should there be a film at the museum that tracks Al Qaeda's planning of the events? I believe that this video actually talks about what Al Qaeda is, and I guess that's important. But I don't care.
Yeah,
I just assume.
Care?
I mean, they're evil, and I should know about that before I get there.
What do they expect us to say? What do they expect this film to say? Some bad people did this?
Right.
I mean, we know you're right. We know who did it. They were Islamic radicals that apparently you moderates can't control. So, but you think we're going to put on a film about what happened at the World Trade Center and not mention the fact that it was Islamic radicals? If you do, you're dumber than anyway.
Not to mention the hundreds of millions, billions, trillions of dollars that we are are going to have to spend to try to protect ourselves from radical individuals that want to kill us.
Every religion has had crazy elements. I mean, we had the Spanish Inquisition. We drowned witches. But you get out of that area. You move away. You expunge that.
I'm a Catholic. We paid money, taxpayer money, for a crucifix in urine or a elephant dung on the Virgin Mary in a Brooklyn museum.
Andre Serrano.
I didn't see Catholics react in the way that, for example, the reaction to Salman Rushdie's book or the Danish cartoons.
By the way, we talked about this the other day. I'm still waiting for Pope Francis, besides the sort of oblique references he's made to this. The Vatican ought to be out front on Christian persecution, and they're not. I don't understand why.
I think he probably would be.
Gotta roll. Next. Fourth.